Hello. Welcome to part 5 of the Amazon Lex Chatbot Series. Can you believe it? This is part 5. We've made it all the way from creating a chatbot from scratch with all the intents, and here we are at the last final stage. So exciting. I'm super excited to do a walkthrough of our fifth part in the series. For those of you who are joining completely new and are not familiar with Nextwork, I'm Maya from Nextwork, and we have some amazing projects on AWS. And today we are doing the fifth part of the chatbot series, where we build a chatbot on AWS, and we'll walk through step by step on how to do this. You can look at the description and find the link for the project, and you can follow along with me. We're going to start from scratch. There is no expectation of prior skills or any idea about AWS. The only requirement is that you have an account with AWS. So if you want to pause and create an account, just look at the link in the description. You should find it. And we can build a chatbot together. We're going to do all the parts of the series in one go today, and then some. So today, we're going to do all the 4 projects, everything that we've done so far. And if you haven't done it, that's okay. You can join along with me. We'll be going a little faster, but you'll be fine. And you can always check out the other projects at your own leisure. So today, we are going to go with the step-by-step guidance. If you want less guidance, you can always choose the option with minimal steps. Here, with the step-by-step guidance, you get detailed instructions on what to do with lots of screenshots, and you can always just check on the video if you have any questions. And at the end of the project, you get this nice documentation that you can broadcast to your LinkedIn, social media, your website, and just let everyone know that you've completed the project. So today, we're going to, in this project, I will demonstrate how to build a chatbot from scratch using Amazon Lex. I'm doing this project to learn how Lex works and to build friendly prompts and intents that allow for an awesome user experience. Awesome. Okay, so the thing about the Nextwork projects is that all the projects, these projects are free, and you can always check, write whatever you want in these, and they come out in the documentation. If you want to write a little bit more and express yourself, you do need a pro, but other than that, it's all free. Let's get started. So we'll start with a quiz, and don't worry, we're going to do a quiz at the end of the project. This is just to see, to get us excited on what we've learned so far and what we're going to learn today. You ready? If you're joining me live, feel free to say hi. Let me know where you're joining from and answer the questions with me. Okay, ready? Let's go. Okay, question number 1. What is the purpose of a slot type in Amazon Lex? Okay, is it A, a sample utterance, B, a bot experience or bot response, C, a type of intent, or D, it defines the type of data that can be collected from a user? It's a great question. If you've followed along, it should be kind of straightforward. We can go through by process of elimination. A slot type, if you recall, is something that we use when we're defining or we want to create prompts and variables for the users to enter when they want to enter inputs. So it's not utterances, it's not a bot response, it's not a type of intent, it's the type of data that can be collected from a user. Okay, yay, got that right. All right, next question. In Amazon Lex, what does an intent represent? Is it A, a closing response? Is it B, a custom data type? Is it C, an action that the user wants to perform? Or D, a confirmation message? Pretty straightforward. An intent is not a closing response. It's not a data type. It's not a confirmation message. It's an action that we want the user to perform. Or we expect the user will perform. So check, balance, or welcome intent are things that we can define so that the users, there are certain intents that we configure and the users can go through those functions. Question number 3. When is the fallback intent triggered in an Amazon Lex chatbot? A, when the bot doesn't understand the user's input. That sounds about right. B, when a user wants to check their balance. C, when a user first starts a conversation. Or D, when a user wants to transfer funds. A fallback intent would have to be when the bot doesn't understand the user's input, and so it's falling back, like a think backup. Yay, and that is right. It's designed to handle situations where the bot doesn't understand the user's input. All right, question number 4. We're 3 out of 5 now. Okay. What is the main benefit of using AWS CloudFormation in the context of deploying an Amazon Lex chatbot? Ooh, spicy. You know why it's spicy? Because that's what we're going to do today. So, yeah, if you don't get this right, totally fine. It's not to create custom slots. Is it A, to create custom slot types, B, to monitor the performance of LexBots, to test user interfaces, or to automate the deployment of AWS resources, including LexBot? Yeah, it's D. CloudFormation allows you to define and deploy your AWS infrastructure as code, including LexBot. So it's really, really nice to just be able to deploy just using code, and we'll be exploring that today. Question number 5, almost done. Uh, what is the primary purpose of using confirmation prompts in a banking chatbot? Is it A, to collect initial data from the user? Is it B, to handle errors in user input? Is it C, to verify the details of a transaction with the user? Or is it D, to provide general information about the bot? Let me read that question again. What is the primary purpose of using confirmation prompts in a banking bot? To collect initial data, to handle errors, to verify the details, or to provide general information? Okay, I think it's C. What do you think? Okay, because we're confirming, right? Yep. Confirmation prompts are used to verify the details of a transaction with the user before proceeding. Okay, exciting. Are we done? Oh my goodness, we've mastered it. How amazing. This is a really nice little feature. If you're pro, you can keep doing new quizzes, and we've got one in the beginning of the project and at the end of the project so that you can test your knowledge. As you can see, I've got the project on one side and I've got AWS on the other, and we can get started. So we're gonna start and set up our chatbot all the way from scratch. By the end of it, we're gonna have a bot, we're gonna have a welcome intent, we're gonna do a fallback intent, and we're gonna do a check balance. And today in the demo, we're gonna do everything. We're gonna do the random bank balances and check another bank balance without getting or asking for our birth date again and again. But you don't have to for the purpose of this project. We're just gonna do all of it because, why not? All right, so in this step, I will build a Lex Chatbot called BankerBot that will welcome the users, provide friendly error messages, which is what the fallback intent does, and allow users to check the bank balance. Yeah, okay. All right, that's done. Okay, so now we're gonna do it all from scratch. If you've done it, if you've done parts 1 through 4, challenge yourself to get it done quickly. All of them, you can fly through it. If you haven't deleted the bot that you've created, amazing. We can just jump right into step 2, but I'm just gonna assume that we haven't done it. We're gonna do it from scratch, and so it's all good. Let's go. So we're gonna go to Amazon Lex after we've logged in, and we want to make sure that we're in version 2, which we are. We're going to select create bot, create a blank bot, and we're gonna create a bot named BankerBot. Little nifty feature here. You can just copy it and paste so that you don't have to type. But you can always make it yours and do as you wish. So we're gonna create a role with basic Amazon Lex permissions because we're gonna connect to Lambda later. And we're gonna do that to provide random bank balance, like a random number. So in order to do the random number generator, we need a Lambda function. And we don't have to worry about COPA. Idle session, we're just going to leave it as a default. And if you want to know why we're doing what we're doing up until now, do go through the other parts of the series. We're going to go with Danielle, set the classification confidence score as 0.40, meaning that LexBot will need to be at least 40% sure before it says that it understands the user's input. Okay, so now that's done, we have to start defining our intents. We'll start with the welcome intent. And the purpose of this intent is to welcome the user when they say hello. We're going to give sample utterances. So this is, consider this kind of like training where we're telling Lex that if the user says anything along these lines, and if you're 40% sure that this is kind of what they mean, then prompt the welcome intent. And when you call the welcome intent and the welcome intent is activated, at the end of it, you want to actually deliver it. And what are you going to deliver? You're going to say, "Hi, I'm BB, the banking bot. How can I help you today?" So that's the message. That's the welcome message that is going to be provided to the user when they say hello. So we're going to save it. If you've done this before, it's just easy peasy, but still always good to test and make sure everything is exactly as you want it to be. Because at the end, if there's some errors, it'll be easier to debug and figure out why you're having an error. So it's a good practice to keep testing, even if you haven't done much like now. And yeah, while we're waiting, just checking the chat. Oh, Gangadhar, so good to see you here. Hello, good morning. Where are you joining from? If it's morning, it's evening over here. But so nice that you're starting your day with the Lex Chatbot Series. All right, ready? Shall we test it? Let's say hi. Hi works. Hello works. What about good morning? See? Good morning was not within 40% of our bot's confidence that we're trying to greet it. That's okay. You can always program it. You can always add an extra utterance if that's what you want. But for our purposes, we're all good. We do want, however, to say something a little nicer than intent fallback intent is fulfilled. We want a little more friendly voice, like sorry, I didn't understand what you're saying. So we go to the fallback intent on the left panel, and we can just scroll down, and this is where we want to look for the closing response, because that's what happens. That's what we want the intent to do. And we just copy this nice little feature with the next work projects. And we can also add variations, like, I'm just going to minimize this. Okay. Add variations like, Could you explain that? Could you maybe try that again? Or you can even add more like, oops, I didn't quite get that. And then maybe say the same thing like, I can help you find your account balance. Okay. Once you're done with that, just hit save intent, and then we can build it. Let's build it. Okay, it might take a couple of seconds. Let's see. A lot of messages. Gangadhar from India. Oh, it's so nice to see you in the live. I see you on the community all the time. So glad that you were joining. We've got Vishnu. Is it new services in AWS? No, Lex has been there for some time. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Is it a new service? Nope, not a new service. But it's a great little fun one to work on, and this project is really, really nice. Okay, so we've built it. Let's test it. Okay, what are we going to test it? Let's say, hey. Oh, see, it's a nice error message. What's up? What's up? What's up, Bankabot? Yep, but it does understand hi. So the error messages, because of the variations, it gives us two different answers, and it's a little more friendly than fallback intent fulfilled, right? So, okay. What's next? We're going to now, we want to be able to ask users what they want to do, like check their balance. And if they're going to check their balance, we want them to be able to tell us what kind of type. So for that, we need a slot. So we're going to create a new slot, and we'll select a blank slot, call it account type, and choose add. And now we're going to add all these slots. Okay, we'll add, we want to restrict it to slot values, very important, so that it's specifically looking for these specific values. And what kind of values are we going to say? We're going to say checking, add value, savings, add value. And then if we want them to check the credit balance, they should also be able to say things like Visa, Amex, American Express, MasterCard. What else? Did I get them all? Oh, credit card. Again, you can always just copy paste from here, but I went ahead and typed it up. And don't forget to click add value. Oh, yeah, I did that by pressing enter. But once I didn't do that, and then I had to go back and debug. Small little steps sometimes can throw you a little bit of error. So now we've done that, we've saved the slot type, but what are we going to do with the slot? We're going to go and we're going to create an intent that allows us to use those slots that we've created. So add empty intent, and the name of the intent is going to be check balance, where the user can actually check the balance. So in the intent details, the description, or no, intent details, yeah, here, intent details. We scroll down to sample utterances. The plain text allows you to just type all at once, but when you preview, you can see it one at a time, which is a nice little tool. nice little feature that AWS Lex has. And we go all the way down to the slots, and this is where we add the slots that we defined. So we're going to do account type and select account type, which is something that we've already customized and added. And so we're going to ask for a prompt for which account would you like your balance, and at that time it will look for the slot account type. We want one more, and that is the date of birth, because we're a bank, we're a banking bot, so we need to be able to verify who the users are and are they really meant to, do they really have access to the bank account? We're not going to do any authentication, but these are variables that you can add, slots that you can add. And the Amazon type is like a default type that Amazon has that's looking for a specific date format. And now that's done. We've added the prompt. Everything looks good. We save the intent and we hit build. All right. Okay. Ooh, lots of comments here. Yeah, Lex is crazy fun. Make as truth as Grok, as crazy as Grok. I don't know about that. But yeah, you don't need any coding experience for this project, so feel free to join along. If you do, that's even better, because we do work on some Python code. We provide the code, and you can always just go through it and modify it. But to answer your question, Vishnu, you don't need to code. Okay, ready to test? All right. What are we going to test? Let's say, what's the balance in my savings account? So it's asking for its verification purposes. Great. Let's give it a date. Okay, it's saying intent check balance is fulfilled. But if you look, everything is in there. It's identifying that, yes, we've got an account type that matches the slots, and we've got a date. Everything is good. The check balance can be fulfilled, but we haven't set that up yet. So let's do that really quickly. For that, we're going to go to Lambda. Oh no, I didn't delete it. Let me quickly delete it. You didn't see this, okay? What? Nothing over here. Okay, we're gonna create the Lambda function here, and we've chosen author from scratch. The name of the function is Banking Bot English. Make sure you select Python. The latest version is the great option, as long as it's 3.12 or higher. And then we hit create function. And this is where you might need a little bit of coding. You can always type it up as you want. But it's totally up to you. If you want to write your own function or just use the function that's here. We've provided the function, just copy it. Make sure you've selected everything that's already existing as a placeholder. Oops, not that. All of this. Okay, and then we just hit deploy. Awesome. And once we've deployed it, we head back to Amazon Lex. And these are services that I have favorited. You can always just click here and put the star so that it's right up there, and makes it super easy. Okay, so we've got our banker bot, and we select our banker bot and we select aliases because we want to set up the Lambda function. Select English, and we've got our function. Set it up as latest so that no matter what changes you make to the function, it'll automatically be added. Awesome. Everything looks good. And now we hit save. All that's done. Okay, and now we go and connect our check balance with the Lambda function. Okay. So we go to check balance, scroll all the way down to fulfillment. Okay, and then on fulfillment, we want it to connect to Lambda function, and we want it to provide that random number, which is what that Python code does, is that it gives a random number as an account balance. So we've selected use Lambda function, and everything else looks okay. Update options and save, and we will build it. Amazing. All right. Ooh, hello. We have a question from Sanket. Hello, hello. Can you provide the information about descriptive bot builder in Amazon Lex? Oh, great. Great question. I highly recommend that you take a look at the Lex series. If you go to the project, which is a link in the description, you will find the entire series that you can go through in detail, and it'll tell you all about the bot, how it works, and all that good stuff. So go through it, and we explain all of it. So make sure that you take a look at the link in the description if you have any other questions to ask. And on a note, did you know that you can always ask things like, you can ask, what's Lex, for example? How do you build, or what's Lex? And it'll give you a little bit about, depending on what you select and highlight, it'll give you some information, and maybe it might be able to answer any of the questions you might have. Okay, now that we've built it, we're going to test it. I'm going to go back to where we were, step 1, here. Okay. Okay, we're testing it. Ready? So I'm going to go check my balance, check my Amex. This is my birth date. Uh-oh. Oh, do you know what happened? I didn't type properly. Oh, see? Look at that. It provides a random number thanks to our Lambda function. How cool is that? Isn't that awesome? Okay. All right. So we're almost done with everything that we've done till now. We have the check balance done. Now we need, so this is the optional piece. You don't need to do this for the rest of this project. But if you wanted the user to be able to ask, what about my savings account? Our bot will keep asking for the birth date, and then you have to add it again. And then if you want a checking account, checking balance, again, it'll ask, checking. it'll ask for your birth date. So if you want to set it up in a way that it doesn't keep asking for your birthday, we can use context. So let's set that up really quickly. We go to check balance, which was right here, and we go to output context, okay? And we select new context tag, and we're gonna call it context check balance. Set it up as the default, meaning that for up to 5 times or up to 90 seconds, you don't even have to ask for their birthday again and again. Does that make sense? Right. So as we build that, let's look at what we have to do next. A follow-up bank balance. So now that we've created context, we want to be able to receive questions that the user would have, like, what about my account type, or how about the balance in this type and in this. So to answer those questions, we need to actually set up that intent. So here it won't do much. Check my savings balance. So here I'm already providing the account type, so it'll only ask for the birth date. But now, even if I say, what about savings, or what about checking, it'll ask for my birth date again, because we haven't actually set up an intent which will understand that the user wants to follow up with another bank account. So we're going to call it follow up check balance. Give it a nice little description, and we're going to add utterances using the plain text so that we can just copy and enter. We also want to include an input context, and what that means is that when it starts the balance, when it starts this intent, it's going to check if it already has the account type in there, so that it doesn't have to prompt for another question of, like, what's your birth date. So we want to set that up too, and then we add a slot, and we want to add account type, because now, even though it's asking for a follow-up, we still need all the information. We need to know which account, and we need to verify the user, so we need to add the slots. So the follow-up check balance is very similar to check balance. The difference is in the input context and the output context. Okay. Save intent. Now we should be able to test it out and build it. Or before that, we do need to connect all the pieces together. So let's go to our follow-up check balance. And in the date of birth, this is where we actually have to say that it should have the context check balance. We add it so that it knows to check for this. And then we update the slot. And now we can test it. But let's give it a nice little message as well. So we're gonna add the Lambda hook. So it's full. Okay. All right. Okay. So same things, just the same thing that we did for check balance. We need the Lambda function so that it provides the bank balance. We save the intent and build it. Nice. How's that? When you select build, it might take a couple of seconds to build that, and can stretch. Or if there's anybody new who's joined, do say hi. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope everything works. Sometimes, because I'm going so fast, I hope I didn't miss anything. Let's get right to the point. And forget the welcome intent, just check my balance. Okay, Amex, please. And then give it a birth date. And yes, it works, but what about savings? What about savings? Look at that. Did you see that? Isn't that awesome? You don't have to add the birth date again. And you can always just check the intent. It'll allow you to keep asking more questions. What about checking? So we got 56 more seconds before it says, I don't know who you are anymore. You have to tell me your birth date. But we don't need to keep testing. We can keep going. Oh my goodness, we're done. We did, do you know, we just did parts 1 through 4 all in just 45 minutes. Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna get serious, down to business. So what's new for this is we're going to create a new intent, and we're going to call it TransferFunds, so that we can transfer funds from one account to the other. And so that's what's so spicy about this project, is now we've got multiple slots and we're getting multiple inputs. That's the highlight for this project. So let's go ahead and create a new intent, and we're going to call it TransferFunds. Oops, copied the wrong thing. Give it a description. And let's add some sample utterances. So things like, can I make a transfer? Or I want to transfer funds. Or even if they want a specific, like they want to add all of their information in one input prompt, they should be able to transfer a specific amount from a source account to a target account. And so what does this mean? I see this and I'm like, oh, we need multiple slots here. So we need to set all these up, right? So that's what we'll be doing. So let's save this. We need to add slots. We'll add a source account type, and that goes back to the account type that we created. So it allows for a very restricted number of assortment of values, and which we've already predefined, and we've set that up. And then we've got another input, another slot that we're looking for, and we've already set up the slot type, and the prompt is going to be what account are you transferring to? And then we add one more, which is the transfer amount. And this is not an account type, it's not date, but it's actually just a number, because we want an actual number of how much they want to transfer. Okay, all good? Cool. Looking good. What do you think? I like it. Okay, and now we're going to add a confirmation prompt just to confirm with our user. Are you sure this is what we're doing? Because we want to make sure that the user actually wants to transfer that amount, right? And we've got all the slots in that prompt, and we're just confirming. If they say no, we have a canceled message, and everything looks okay. Let me take a screenshot of this. So why do we take screenshots? If you take screenshots and you upload them here, you get a nice little documentation with all your screenshots and all the answers that you've entered in that documentation at the end, so that you can just show off when you're done. Now you want to add a closing response just so that there's a nice little ending to the request, and we can say, great, transfer is done, and this amount should be available in this account type. Okay, save intent, and we're going to build. This is also a nice little thing to keep in mind of, because sometimes we make edits and then we might directly feel like testing it out, but if there are changes that has been made, there's a little warning that you get to remind you that you need to build it. Okay, so while we're waiting, we can really quickly answer these questions. What does the TransferFunds do? So an intent I created for my chatbot was TransferFunds, which allows my user, or allows users to transfer their preferred amount from one account to another. And what do confirmation prompts do? I learned how to create confirmation prompts, which are messages that seek the user's consent, or verify their consent before an intent is fulfilled, which in this case is the transfer is the transfer of money from one account to the other. Done. Cool. All right, so we're done with that, and then we can test it. Oh my goodness. Exciting, exciting. Okay. So we're gonna say, I'd like to transfer money. So we're going straight to the transfer intent. And we're gonna say, tracking, Amex, 400. Ta-da! Oh no. Oh, it's verified. See, it's giving the confirmation. Are we actually transferring it? What if I say no? Cancelled. All right, transfer 5,000 from Amex to savings. I don't know why anyone would do that, but look at that. So it went straight to the confirmation because it had all the slots already in there in that one input. And then we say yes. Woohoo! Exciting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot. of this little test. I'll just put this much, add it to my project. And then, why did you use the same slot type twice? Well, for this intent, I had to use the same slot type twice. This is because I was transferring money from one account to the other, and it required two of the same slot type, which is account type. Yep, makes sense? Awesome. Yay, who's doing the project along with me? We've done with step 1, we're done with step 2, answering all the questions, testing. So exciting. Okay, so now we've set up the transfer funds intent, and we have all these beautiful intents. Look at that. Isn't that glorious? Amazing. And now we're going to do something a little different from what we've done in all the different parts. And we're going to explore the Lex conversation flow feature. Did you know that everything that we've been doing with like manually entering the slots, even though it's been super easy, now we're actually going to see the visual side of it. And it's going to look like this. Whoa, isn't that cool? Are you ready? So the conversation flow feature allows you to actually visualize what is going to happen, and it'll give you an idea of what you're building and how it's going to look. And sometimes you will get ghost-like responses, and this is kind of like Lex just predicting what users might enter, and so that you have a better idea of what to expect and like what it's going to actually look like if it was working. So Lex also has a special conversation flow feature that allows you to visualize the logical flow of your intents as you build your bot. Done. Nice. Okay, so let's check that out. And if you go to the intent, and you can just randomly select an intent, look at that. You can actually see what is happening. So if we look at the ghost values, you can see that it's saying, this is an example of a sample utterance. So the user could say, can I make a transfer? And then we could say something like this if we set it up that way, and it's giving us ideas about what we could do. What is actually going to do is this one. Which account would you like to transfer from? And then it kind of gives you an idea of how it's going to work, what aspects has been already configured, what hasn't been done in case you want to do that. So it's giving you ideas of what you could do. And if you wanted to do something like that, you can just click and it'll tell you exactly where you need to go to do whatever it is that you just clicked, which is a really, really nice feature. So it makes it so easy to really customize your bot in the way you would like. And the conversation flow gives you inspirations of what all you could do. And it also makes it Very easy to do that too. And so if you want to edit and you say, oh, this is not how it's supposed to be, I want to edit that, you click it, you go directly there, and you can make those edits as you wish. Isn't that nice? How cool is that? Thumbs up if you like that feature. Okay. All right, so now let's check out one more, and it's the visual builder. And we're actually going to take a look at what we've actually created. Isn't this so cool? This is the whole thing that we've built just now. And it starts here where the user can say something like, can I make a transfer? And if you click this, you can edit, and you can always look at what you've already done. What are the utterances that you've added? And you can edit right here. You can add more. So you can see and you can get an idea. It's a nice like flow. So here, even though we're not actually directly going to invoke Lambda here, it is kind of checking. It knows that we need to, we're going to be using Lambda in this process. So it needs to invoke and connect to it early on, which it'll refer to when it needs to be invoked. And then these are the slot values that it's being called, and so everything, it's so beautifully seen. And we're gonna take a screenshot of this. It's a lot to fit. I'm going to maximize this window here so that I can capture everything. Add that, and then I will add that to my screenshot. Okay, what does the Visual Builder do? Visual Builder allows you to visualize the intents and the flow of intents that you've built. It also allows you to edit and add new intents. If you prefer a more visual experience. Done. Look at that. All right, so if you're a pro, you can unlock the secret mission. And in the secret mission, you get to actually break down the transfer funds, and we can actually edit it, add a new step, and then add this to your project documentation. So you do need to be a pro to unlock this. But since y'all are joining today live with me, or maybe you're watching this later, we're going to unlock this mission during the demo, and we're going to do this. How exciting is that? So as an extension for this project, I'm about to use the Visual Builder to add a new step to the transfer funds intent. If you make a typo, you won't be able to edit unless you're a pro, so be super careful. You excited? I'm so excited. Okay, let's see. We'll start with getting to know the start card that triggers the transfer funds. Okay, so we're going to do this step by step, walk through the whole thing. So this is the start. And if you create the pencil icon right here, you can see all the stuff that we've set, the sample utterances, and you'll know all the things that we've added. You can add more, and then as you can see, we were doing the Lambda function, and even though we're not connected using it for right after the start, we actually do need it, and it's just preparing for that event if it does happen. So you can also just check that and see it's all set up and ready to go. And then we have the get slot values, and here we need the source account, the target account, and the transfer amount, and everything is set up. We've got the prompt, we've set the slot type, we've even added whether it's required or not. And you can see if you're able to get this information, then you go here, and if you get this, you go here, and if you get this, you go here. And so there's a nice little order and sequence. And then what happens when you've got all that information? It confirms it. So when you confirm, it gives you the confirmation prompt. And if it's a no, you get the answer that it's been canceled. So you can really, really visualize everything in a flow. And everything that we've created, everything, it's just right here. So you can take a look at it a little closer, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a little bit of an edit. Okay, we're going to wire up 3 cards in the visual builder. And here's a challenge if you want to do it on your own. How would you set up your bot to automatically ask the user whether they'd like to check an account balance after a transfer? So that's what we are going to do here. Well, if you think about it logically, we've asked for the confirmation prompt, and then it's asking, shall I go ahead with the transfer? Now, if it's a no, then it's going to say transfer canceled, right? Yeah. And if it actually does it, it's going to say transfer complete with the whole information. Now we want to actually do something more here to ask if they'd like to check the account balance. So let's drag this a little further away, and I'm going to zoom out so that I can move it and give myself a little bit of space as I create the next intent and so forth. So what do we need for this? We're going to have to get another slot type, because if they we're gonna add get slot value. Okay, and we're gonna set it up right next to the condition option. Right here. I'm gonna give some space. And then condition option. And then what? Let's see. Put it right next to the closing response card, which we've done. Let's drag the condition option from the top menu bar. We did that, and put it right next to get slot value. And then we're going to drag the go to intent option from the top bar, and we'll put it down here to make it a little neat. And if you can you figure out how to do this? This piece is a little optional, so you don't have to add it because it won't go into the documentation, but it's nice for us to know. So now let's go to the get slot value. We've got all our stuff in here. And don't worry about the lines here in between. We'll clean it up. Let's configure this one. Let's the slot name is going to be go to check balance, and we're going to give a description of checks, whether the user wants to check account balance. And then in the slot type, we're going to check the default existing defined slot type, which basically allows you to say yes, no, maybe, don't know, and all of those little pieces. Make sure that you select required, and then for the slot prompt, we want to ask the question, what would you also like to check an account balance? And now we add 2 more customizations to this card, where we can say go all the way down to success response, okay? And then we say, thanks for letting me know. And if we don't understand what they said, like if it's not yes, no, maybe, don't know, we can say, can you tell me a little more specifically? Okay. Now that's done, let's hit save it in intent. Oh, oops. Okay, don't hit save intent just yet. Don't do that just yet. Okay. Because we're not done. We've got a lot of missing stuff, right? Okay. Let's wire things up. In your blue closing response card, which is right here, the arrow pointing out of transfer is complete. Let's delete that. Why are we deleting it? Because we don't want it to go to the end. We want it to go here. Okay? And then, yeah. So we delete that arrow and we move it to the transfer is complete. Wait, yeah, to get slot value. Now let's drag the arrow from the success outcome, which is right here. Move this a bit closer. My lines are all over the place and I've got error messages. Beautiful, isn't it? Just beautiful. So we take the stuff, we pull out the line from success and we want it to go to the condition. And what is the purpose of the condition card? We'll get to that in a bit. If it's a failure, we want to go to the fallback intent, right? So this is going to get even more messy. Okay, so if it's a failure, we want it to fall back, like error message. Okay, everything looks okay so far. Whew, messy. So based on what you've set up for this get slot value card, what do you think your user will see? The get slot value will trigger when the transfer is complete. The card will try to capture whether whether the user wants to check the account balance. Ooh. Done. Okay. All right, so next we select the pencil icon on the top of your confirmation card. Where's my confirmation card? Is this okay? And then under where am I? Under branch name, enter yes. Okay. Should be condition card, isn't it? Okay. Under branch name, we want to put yes. And then under condition, we'll use the yes, and we want it to say, we want it to go to, oh, sorry, where's the condition? Add conditional branch, there you go. Just kidding. Okay, so here, maybe that step could be a little more clear. Okay, so under branch name, we want to enter yes, and then in the condition, we want to put go to check balance. And let's not capitalize the E. Okay, good. And you've got screenshots to make sure you're all in the right place. Just check everything looks right, and then don't hit save intent, because then you'll get more errors. But I know it makes you want to, so don't do it yet. Right, so the condition card helps you decide which path you want to take. So in this case, if the user says yes, I want to check the balance after the transfer has been made, the condition will be go to check balance. And so now we can close that. Right, so everything is there. And then the default is going to be end the conversation, which was what we had initially before we added this. If it is yes, we want to check the balance, and we don't have to create a new intent. We just want it to go to that intent. So this is the go to intent. And so we want it to go to the intent, and we have to now define which intent to go to. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go select the pencil, and then we know exactly which intent we want to do. You could put the check balance, everything looks right, and then save. Is it done? Is it safe to say save? We could say save, but we're just going to clean it up really quickly, and you can clean up by selecting these little sparkly stars, and it's auto arranged. Okay. Now I'm going to say save intent. No more errors. Yay. Okay. All right, let's take a screenshot of this. Long. beautiful, colorful flow. And we're gonna upload that. You could also just add the new pieces in here for your screenshot. It might look better. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will do that so that in the documentation it becomes more visible. Again, you kind of need a pro to modify that. But I think you can still modify if you don't hit done yet. So make sure that when you hit done, you're very sure of what you want to include. Okay. So now, yeah, we built it. And then are we ready to test? Are you nervous? Or are you excited? Okay. Let's get straight to the point. Transfer this amount from one account to the other. Yes, let's do it. Okay. Oh no. Why didn't we get the question, would you also like to check balance? Did we build it? I don't know. I'm just gonna build it again, because sometimes I can be very forgetful. You tell me, did we build it? Yeah, I don't think we built it. I don't think I did, because it's taking time. But it didn't give that error, like that little warning that sometimes it does when it recognizes that there's some changes that are made. So now while it's building, let me just check if there are any questions. Okay. All right. Okay, now it says built. Please work. If it doesn't work, it worked. It worked. Oh my goodness, it worked. All because I didn't hit build. Look at that. Would you like to check an account balance? Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, so friendly. Which account would you like your balance? My Amex. Okay. Amazing. What if I say now, what about savings? So it's gone back to this place, to the check balance. Oh, you can't see it here because this is very specifically the transfer funds. But if you remember the conversation flow, it goes from check balance to follow-up balance. So everything's looking good. And you can try as many flows as you want and test it out, put no, and really have fun with it. So let's answer the question. What have you added using the Visual Builder? So using the Visual Builder, I added a condition, or yeah. Here, this is what I did. I added a condition to check if the user wants to check balance after the transfer was completed. What this means for an end user is that they can keep conversing to the banker bot and continue invoking or activating other intents depending on what their needs are. Nice. Yay, that's done. Secret mission over. Okay, so now we're gonna go delete our resources. Why? Because if you don't delete your resources, you might get charged. Amazon AWS has an amazing free tier and a lot of services that you can do for free. And some of them, if you don't delete in time, you can get charged. So good practice to just delete. So we're going to delete our Lexbot. And then we're going to our Lambda function. And if you don't remember all the steps to delete, you can just go through it. Go to Lambda and then functions and hit delete and just hit confirm. Done. And you also want to delete your Lambda function file. So for that, you need to go to CloudWatch, which I didn't put in my favorites. I'm going to add it now. Now it's here. And I'm going to go to log groups and delete all of them. Just delete. You should only see one. Those are some logs that I didn't delete. But now that I've deleted everything, it looks nice and clean. Yay. We're done? Are we done? Are we done? No, there's more. But wait, there's more. We're going to deploy our bots in seconds. What do you mean? We just deleted our entire bot. And you're telling me we're not done? Yeah, we're not done because we're actually going to deploy the entire thing, everything we just did, really quickly using CloudFormation. What is CloudFormation? CloudFormation is an infrastructure as code service. What that means is that you can actually describe all the resources, all the dependencies, all the things that you might need and that you might actually set up. And you can write it up as code, and then you just deploy that, and everything is already there. So you don't have to manually, you don't have to, go through each intent and add it. So if you don't want that UI experience and you just want to code it up, and you have that Python experience, like how Sanket had asked earlier, whether you need to know coding for this. If you do, it's super great and awesome because you can just deploy everything in one go. And that's what we're going to do in this last final bonus step. And this step can be a little tricky. So let's do it. So in this step, I will use CloudFormation to deploy BankerBot. Yeah. Make it nice and easy. Simple. Okay. So here we have to download this. Okay, I've downloaded like a million times now. Let's open it up really quickly. Okay. So here you can see this is all the code that we would need if we're going to deploy the whole bot that we've made with all the intents using code. And so we can go through it step by step, look at the different functions that's been defined. You can see that everything that we've done, like creating a bot, the description, the voice, adding the slots, all the information that we had added, the checking, the savings, the credit. So you can always, like, if you have another value and you can kind of figure out how to edit, if you understand the logic and the code, you can always modify it and tweak it. So you don't need complete coding experience to kind of manage it. But you can really see all the little different pieces, you know, the intents that was created, the fallback intent, the welcome intent, the check balance intent, how the check balance has sample utterances, enabling the Lambda fulfillment code hook. All of this is right here in code, in Python, all there. Yeah. Looks good, doesn't it? Okay. So let's now deploy this. So we have to go to CloudFormation. Type CloudFormation. I'm going to favorite that too. And I'm going to create stack. Choose an existing template. Upload a template file because we already have it. And I'm going to select the one that we just had, which is the banker bot. Okay. Everything looks good and right. Yep. Okay. So now I'm going to hit next. And then I'm going to give a stack name. I don't have to worry about anything else, so hit next. And all of this looks okay. This is the only thing that we need to make sure that we check. And then we can hit next again. We don't have to worry about this so much because this is kind of like a simple implementation. So let's submit it. And it's going to take some time to create it. So in that time, let's answer the questions. AWS is I'm going to modify this a bit, is an infrastructure as code service that allows you to deploy all your all the services, all the what is the word I'm looking for? All the resources and dependencies. Dependencies as code. Nice. How did you use CloudFormation in this project? I used CloudFormation to deploy the entire Lex bot that I had created at the start with all the intents and slots that I need for my banker bot. One more question. Rebuilding my bot with Cloud Function took me 5 minutes. Well, it's still being created, and Maybe we took some time to review the code. 5 minutes. Because I used the given Python code file. See, I'm being very honest. Okey dokey. Okay, so we have to wait for a little bit. One piece of it is done, but it's still creating the different pieces. You can see what all is going on. So it's not entirely done yet. But yeah, good time to stretch. If you're watching or doing the project with me live, let me know. Say hi. I want to know who's here. I see you. I see that you're there. We should have some nice music as we wait, right? But yeah, let's take a preview of what's next, right? So we want to take a screenshot of the lineup of intents. It's done, it's done, it's done, it's done. Okay, ready? Okay, I think we need drum rolls. We're gonna go to our Lex bot. You ready? What are we gonna see? Look at that. This is a new name. This is new. We deleted our bot. Remember, we deleted it and now it's here with all the intents. Look at that. Just beautiful. Want to add that screenshot. Okay, now we got to test it. Oh, I don't know why. Why does it say it has not built changes? Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm just gonna quickly build it just in case. It's taking some time to build, and while it builds, I'm gonna see where it's at. Ready? Okay. Hello. Okay. So we do need to add a couple more pieces. Okay, I just want to check again. So yeah, we're missing a couple of things. We do need to set up the Lambda function because we haven't put in our function yet. So let's go to the test bot aliases. So go to aliases, find the test bot, and select English, and let's select this one. Okay, because that's the one with the v2, so we want to get that, and we hit save. Okay, I think we did hit save. And then let's go and test it out now. Okay, wait, we have to build it again. Building. Building, building, building. Building. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, successfully built. Does it work yet? Does it work yet? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. We did this using code, guys. Okay, let's not get too excited. Let's test it out completely. Ready? So we've done a whole hello thing. Check my balance, please. Okay, for which account? I'm gonna get straight to the point. For savings account. Verification purpose. I'll give you a birth date. It didn't work. We got an error. What does this error mean? Invalid bot configuration. Access denied while invoking Lambda function. And then we've got this ARN number. And then we've got the function ID and so much information. This is the test alias ID. Check policy on the function. Okay, so all good. Don't worry. Don't panic. I got you. This is exactly what we want it to do. Uh-oh. What did I do? I got you. Errors everywhere. No problemo. We're gonna solve it very quickly because troubleshooting is a very, very important skill in IT. And if you're going to work on cloud, you're going to need to know how to troubleshoot. So this is good. Let's do this. So how do we troubleshoot? We have to understand what the error is. It looks like there is an error with permissions. And so we need to go and check our Lambda function. So something about our Lambda function isn't working. But what we do know is that we had a function that we had built, that we had created, that works. So let's just create a new function. And then put, exactly what we had done in the previous step, using a function that we know works. So I'm gonna say create function, and it's called banking bot English, right? And once that is done, we need to actually add the code. So let's go to the code. Oops, what did I do? Okay. Select all the placeholder and then go to our function and add it in here. Ready? Let's deploy. And then let's redirect our alias to point towards this function. So for that, we need to go back to Lex. We need to go find our banker bot, the alias, and then we took the test bot. Let's see which function. Okay, so we want the new function, right? And we hit save. Okay, does everything look okay? Shall we just check? Okay, I'm just gonna check and see what's happening. Check balance. Okay, savings. 1193. Okay, so still doesn't work. And what it's telling us is that we need permission, right? So let's go back to our Lambda function, to our banking bot, and go to configuration and permissions. And here we want to we want to add permissions. So this is a little tricky, and we've made it quite simple. We want to grant permission for our Lambda function to use another service, and specifically the service is Lex, right? So because Lex wasn't in the dropdown, we're just going to select other and then give it an ID and specify which principal service we're going to use. And then we also need to put in our ARN. I forgot to copy and paste it. So let's go and find our ARN. I'm going to open this in a new tab and build up that test again. So check balance. It just makes it easier to find that ARN. So savings, and then we'll see the savings, and put in. Okay, so here now we can see the we don't need all of it, do we? Okay, let's select all of it, and as the example provides, so we add this. So it's ARN, AWS service, AP Southeast, and then the resource. And for the resource, we kind of just want to say anything that comes after or within. So we put the asterisk to indicate that. And then we select Lambda invoke function, right? Okay, so now we hit save. And let me just take a screenshot of that for the documentation and upload it. And we can also just verify that everything looks okay. Yeah. Okay. Save. The provided principal is invalid. Do I have any extra spaces? What am I missing? Everything looks right. It matches the screenshot. AWS, other, Amazon Lex Chatbot. Okay. Let me just hit diagnose with Amazon Q and see what I could be doing wrong. The provided principal was invalid. It's trying to access a resource. It indicates the principal specified in the request is not recognized or does not have the necessary permission. Okay, so it's offering some suggestion to fix it. If you don't have permissions, navigate to Lambda, permissions tab. Everything looks right. I'm pretty sure we did all this. Did I miss anything? Infrastructure as code is easy and all, but it's not easy, right? Okay. Let me go through this again. I might have missed something. So we got to the point where we had the error, right? And then what did we do? We went, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to Lambda function, banking bot. Make sure that the function looks okay. Yep, this is what we had set up. Did we redirect it to version 1? Let me go check. Aliases, testbot, English. This is banking bot English. Yeah, it looks right. Did I press save? Okay. I'm just going to check the other alias. Maybe. Aha. Aha. Okay. All right, let's see if this did the trick. To go back to Lambda and try it again. Configuration, permissions, add permission, AWS service, other. And then for the ID, I'm gonna put it here. And the principal right here. ARN resource, did we copy? Yeah, everything looks right. Oops. Copy paste. Okay. Action is invoke function. Okay. Oh, wrong. Sorry. Sorry about that. Let's do this and then delete this and kind of put an asterisk. Okay. Oh, okay. We were able to save it and all good. Yeah, let's take a screenshot of that. Gosh, I didn't even realize. Okay. Oh yeah, we did do that, right? Okay, we did all this. Saved. And yeah, now let's go test it out. Okay, let's see. Check my balance. Savings. Give it a birth date and then yay. Did it work? Oh my god, did it work? Ah, so exciting. Did it work? Oh wow. 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 Yep, it works. We fixed an error, guys. We totally fixed an error. And now it's time to delete. Isn't that just so sad? Like, you put all these effort into create this beautiful Lex bot, and every time you're done, you're gonna go delete it. Can we just admire it one more time? This beautiful piece of work that says hi to us and lets us check the balance, and we can tell which account we wanted to check, and it'll ask for our birthday. Oops. Huh. I don't know what birth date that is, but that's okay. What about my Amex account? Lex, tell me. Oh yeah, see, it's giving us the Amex account, and I want to transfer funds, transfer 50 from checking to savings. It works. Oh my gosh, okay. Can I go ahead with the transfer? Yeah. 50 should now be available in your savings account. Tears of joy, guys. Tears of joy. Oh my gosh, who did this project with me? Tell me, I want to know. Did you do the project and get the entire thing done along with me? Say yes, say hi, tell me that I am not celebrating on my own, because I am so excited that this is done. We just built an entire bot using infrastructure as code. CloudFormation, guys, we are done. And now that we've enjoyed, it's time to delete, shall we? Go to CloudFormation. And the good thing about CloudFormation stack is that you can just delete the entire thing. And it should take care of the entire thing. You don't have to go through the bot and the logs, but we're going to do it anyway. And we're going to check because sometimes it does do that. So we'll check all of it. But oh my gosh, it feels so exciting to have done that. Everything looks so great. And in the meantime, while it's getting deleted, let's really quickly answer all the questions. Amazon Lex is a great service. Is a service Amazon Lex is an AWS service, and it is useful because it allows you to build a chatbot very easily. In this project, I used Amazon Lex to create a banker bot that acts like a banker. One thing I didn't expect was how tricky CloudFormation can be. It makes it easy to deploy a bot with just code, but it also requires a little knowledge on coding and AWS services, like permissions and all that. How much time did this project take you? Well, the entire thing that took me about 2 hours to build up the bot in one go with 4 intents. I also deleted the bot and created a new one using CloudFormation. I also added functions using the Visual Builder. And deleted the bot and created a new one using CloudFormation. Okay. Very descriptive because I love Nextwork. Am I biased? Maybe. Something that would make learning with Nextwork even better is more amazing projects. Yay! So exciting. Okay, shall we do the quiz now? One last time, all the way through. Ready, let's go. In Amazon Lex, what does an intent represent? It represents an action that the user wants to perform. Amazing. Oh no, delete failed. Let's try that again. Sidetrack. Next question. What is the purpose of a slot type? If you know the answer, add your comment. What is the purpose of a slot type in Amazon Lex? It defines the type of data that can be used that can be collected from the user. Awesome. When is the fallback intent triggered? When the bot doesn't understand the user's input. I'm like so excited that this is all easy peasy, right? Like we've been doing this for 5 projects now. We got this. So exciting. What is the main benefit of using AWS CloudFormation in the context of deploying an Amazon Lex bot? To automate the deployment of AWS resources including Lex bots. What is the primary purpose of using confirmation prompts in a banking chatbot? Is it to collect initial data? Is it to verify the details? Is it to provide general information or to handle errors? It's to verify the details, right? Yeah. Yeah. Last question. Oh, and it's done. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. And we deleted the bot. Let's just go and check Lambda. Oh, the function is still there. Okay, that's okay. We'll go and delete it manually one more time. And just to be safe, we're going to go to CloudWatch, go to the logs. Yeah, delete that too. Clean everything up. And we're done, guys. We're done. What all did we just do? We did so much. So much, guys, so much. In this project alone, we configured multiple slots that shared a slot type. We implemented a confirmation prompt using the Visual Builder, used conversation flow. We automated bot deployment. And that is all on top of everything that we've done this entire series. The welcome intent, the fallback intent, the check balance intent, putting the Lambda function, and then setting it all up and having a follow-up check balance. Oh my God, this is huge. And you get a badge. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, where's my documentation? Just when I thought everything was done, it's not done. So here, this is a cool little thing that you can do. So we need to complete all the tasks in order to get the documentation. So we can just quickly go through and see what hasn't been done. We needed to add this. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna put an answer. What was the question? Can you guess how these 3 cards will set up a switch in the check balance? Okay, it's not going to go in the documentation, but the 3 cards looks for a condition, and based on what the user inputs, it'll go to a defined intent, which in our case was check balance. Okay. Done. And all good. So now, can I see my, what am I missing? One more task. I didn't complete it. Okay. Why did you have to troubleshoot after deploying your bot? There was an error after I deployed my bot. Yes, there was. And the error was, okay. The error was a permissions error. which I fixed by adding a policy statement. Okay, done. Okay, let's go. Does it work? Does it work? Yay. Do you know what this means? When I click this, I get to download the documentation. And because I'm a pro, I can put nice colors and then save documentation. And then that'll get downloaded. And then I can share it on LinkedIn and put all of the nice little features, everything that I did, and I can add my documentation here if I want. Is this my documentation? I don't think so. Let me see if it's downloaded. It hasn't downloaded yet. Yeah, but once I download that, I can also upload it, or I can just upload this nice little text and then post it and share it with the world that I am done with this project. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? Did you all do the project with me? Did you enjoy it? This is the end of the Lex Chatbot series, guys. This is it. And we did this awesome work together. We debugged, we answered all the questions, and completed this entire beautiful series. Check it out if you haven't already. Do it again, customize your bot, and if you have any questions, just go to community and ask your question about your documentation, about Lex, about AWS, anything you want. We're here. We're here to answer all your questions. And so excited to have done this with y'all. Till next time, another live demo. Goodbye for now. Thanks for joining all.